Alright guys, we just got this part in. This is the TD32 model, and it is a thermal unit, but so much more than that. It's so complex and has so many features. We'll try to get our hands on it and do like a full tutorial because I've had it for about 10 days and I'm still learning and getting it all the functions down. But the really cool part is, of course, it is thermal imaging, but then you also have day and night vision. So a lot of guys have asked me before, what's best, thermal or day or night? And a lot of times it's like it depends on what you're doing. But now you can have both, and not only that, you can have a picture-in-picture, so you can use both all the time. So as a hunter, you're out there sometimes and you're seeing something thermal and you're like, I'm not sure what that is. Well, your night vision will illuminate up to 350 yards away, and it has 11 power zoom, so now you really do know what it is. They also have a visible laser on it, and so this is the infrared spot for the night vision. This is your thermal, but then this guy right here is what's really cool. That's a rangefinder. Well, sure, other optics have rangefinders on them as well, but this one has a built-in ballistic calculator. And not just like cheesy ballistics, but like complete with your ballistic coefficient, your zero height, your height of optic over bore, calculates all those things to show where your hold should be. So let's jump into that because as a marksman, I think that's the coolest thing about this. We're going to put it on a bigger gun in a little while, but 22 is best to demonstrate the ranging in a limited range place like this, because we can only go to about 300 yards. Well, 300 yards with a subsonic 22 with a 4-inch barrel, that's more impressive than showing the ballistic calculations. So we have started recording, and when I press the laser rangefinder, you'll see that it's locked in at about 53 yards, and then it'll give my hold, which will be 0, because that's our 0 is 50 yards. So you saw when I ranged, it was kind of to the top left. Where the laser rangefinder is hitting is different than where my bullet impact is hitting. And so it goes ahead and shows you where you need to be to range. The cool part is when you're doing it under night vision, you'll see the beam bouncing off. So if you ever think you're going to be stealthy and like, you know, laser rangefind enemy troops who have night vision on, you'll be screwed. There we go. Okay, so that's pretty decent. You saw me wobbling a little. So now let's reach out further. We are going to, oh, that's thermal, so it's totally working there. Oh, let's do it with thermal just for kicks. Let's shoot that gong. Nice. So you see my impact just a touch to the right. So you do have two different zeros. One for the day-night vision scope, one for the thermal. Here we go to 100. Okay, it shows my drops, so that would be roughly 8 inches or so. That's a 12-inch plate, so we're aiming at the top of it. Let's send it. Easy peasy. Okay, let's go further. Let's skip to the buffalo. The buffalo's fun. We're going to range it. 243 yards. No, that's not right. 173, that's right. Let's go see, and it does translate over to your thermal as well. So I can see it, which is pretty impressive since it's just ambient temperature today. So to see those targets is pretty cool. A lot of times I hit them with a blowtorch or something. 173 sending. Wow, you saw that fly off to the right. And the second one hit. So there's nothing wrong with that first shot except it just flew on its own. Isn't that crazy? Let's go for 270. 261. All right, that drop is crazy though. Let's send it. And it's a hit, first shot. There, now we even got a blink light. Let's go to doing it on thermal, because you can see it fly in the air. So what's cool is you can see that bullet cross over at the reticle and then just drop in. That is pretty stinking cool for thermal, even in ambient. This is like 89 degrees today. It's pretty neat. So what we did is we heated up some water bottles and then we put some in ice. And now we can see the contrast out there pretty neat. So you can see the black ones that are hot because we're on black hot. You can see the white ones that are cold. And I'm going to show you some of the different color schemes because then red hot, that's my favorite. If we're out in the forest and such, you can see a stump decaying or a deer walking. The indigo's pretty hot too. Oh yeah, that one's actually pretty cool right now. And white hot is going to be opposite. So let's go to the purple indigo. That was pretty stinking cool. And we will, oh, edge. That is a brand new one for me. None of my other thermals have that, but the edge is really great at the range and watching animals walk. Let's just see what these look like as we dispatch them. Oh, that was pretty, okay, that was pretty legit. So now the picture-in-picture, that'll show you what it's actually looking like. There we go. All right, let's try this guy. Good hits. Let's try this. I think I'm hitting a little to the right, so we're gonna hold left. Oh, it's a good hit. Nice. Oh, man. I think there's a soda right there. Got it. And there's something behind this dueling tree. There it was. Okay, that was pretty cool. I've never done that before, but we may have to start integrating that into marksman camp. Before we heat our Adam's arms up, I thought it'd be pretty cool to see what it looks like under thermal because they run cooler because it's a short stroke piston. We broke 2 wrenches trying to pull this handguard off so it matched this PSA one. And anyway, that's where we're at today. And so we're gonna just shoot this direct impingement gas AR-10 with this Adam's arms and see if we can see a difference under thermal. I think it'll only take like 2 or 3 shots. So this is very interesting. You saw the gas tube get really hot really fast, and you saw just a little bit of the short stroke piston. I wish we could have gotten the handguard off to get a, you know, complete apples to apples reading, but the barrel showed warmer of the Adam's arms, and I wonder if it was just the stainless steel finish that was reflecting the thermal indicator or something, because the barrel of this PSA didn't look that hot. So interesting stuff. So the coolest and easiest way to zero your thermal is these infinity targets, because it will actually show where your holes are. You don't even have to have it cleaned or anything. We don't have to paint these up. If you want a fine aiming point though, we have a roofing tack in here. We're gonna make it hot, and that will give us a fine point to aim at. However, spray paint comes out cold. So when I put a dot in the middle of this head, we're gonna see that as a cold spot, so now we can do 2 different things. Roofing tack shining well. We're gonna put a round in it. These are some 168 AMAX that I had from Angel Fire. All right, and it looks like we're about 4 inches too high. So let's send another one. I guess it's touching, but so now it's just the easy part of matching our point of impact to our point of aim. We can adjust our XY axis to hit exactly where our point of impact and point of aim was. I had moved a little bit as we started, so we're just gonna call it right there. A long hold to save, and now we are zeroed. So now we can try to shoot at that cold spot in the head and see what happens. So even though it's been several minutes, our heat from our roofing tack is still glowing, as well as our all 4 shots. I used to use a tree for this, but the friction doesn't last near as long, and sometimes depending on the bark, it may not show at all. So I think the infinity targets ought to be marketed for thermal zeroing because they just work amazing because of that rubber. And that is still my original target that has thousands of rounds through it, because they'll take 110 5.56 rounds per square inch. Pretty impressive. Save 15% at infinitytargets.com with my code TOPSHOT15. I have inputted my 308 ballistics into the ballistic calculator, and let's just reach out a little bit, out at 100 yards. So we have day and night. So let's just say 100 yards. Let's go ahead and range it. Oh yeah, I got a range over here. There, 101 yards, and it's actually hold under because of the 50-yard zero. Let's see how close that was. I look dead stinking on. Let's go to day mode. All right, so now in day mode, see if we can get it. No problem. All right, let's go to thermal. And out at 170 yards, we have the LaRue fast target ready to get whacked. Let's range it though to make it official. And it looks almost dead on. And now it goes away though. So anyway, let's move on. Let's go to day mode. There is a buffalo. All right, 173 yards. That's about right. So still hold under. Let's go for the head. Nice. All right, now let's go out there far before it cools off. We have a 260 yard target. We're switching to thermal. Locking on at 263 yards. Since we have a 50 yard, which is a 200 yard zero, it's not much drop. Let's see if we can get it. Oh, let's do picture in picture. There we go. Now you can see exactly. We should have been doing picture in picture the whole time. Let's get 2 birds, 1 stone. There you go. And I could even see the bullet fly in with the heat. Thermal is just way too cool. That's fun. So one final shot. We have a Firebird target out there at 50 yards. We want to see what it looks like on thermal. And yes, we'll shoot it with this beautiful Adams arms. This is their small frame, if you didn't catch that earlier, because we had a full video on it. They shortened everything, especially around your fire control group here. We found the gas setting, or the piston setting, 33% at the second notch to just work perfect with that Bowers suppressor. All right, let's see about blowing this thing up. We're gonna go thermal because I wanna see the bigger part of the explosion. That was really cool. Saw a big red flash, and I hope I broke that tree cookie in half, but it looks like it still stands. If you can't tell, I'm pretty stoked about this Pard Optic. I've played with several different thermals, and none of them have the features that this has. The picture-in-picture, the red visible laser we didn't even use, but especially the Ballistic Calculator. I thought it would be an amazing match for a subsonic 300 blackout, but I didn't think about that till I was here without subsonic ammo. But you could do so much so quietly with that and take all the guesswork out of it. And it has some stuff we didn't even go over, like there's a compass, and there's an angle indicator, and a cant indicator. Pretty cool for a package that is just a little over $4,000 retail. So you can go check out this TD32 and more over at pard.com. Check out the Adams arms and Infinity Target. Remember, Top Shot 15. Thanks for watching today, guys. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye. It goes a lot faster if we load it.